Colorado student suspended for 5 days after showing a toy gun while taking an online class. Now, folks, this is just another reason why I'm ripping on schools lately, and another reason just to get back to school, so we don't have some bull crap like this to go through. So apparently, nothing in your home is private anymore, because apparently you could get suspended if you are going to school online just by showing stuff off in your room. Apparently, that's where we're at in this country. I think it's pretty stupid, honestly. And this just goes to show you that online learning is not a viable source for the future. I cannot... At first, when I read this, or heard about it, actually, I was so, I guess, angry in a weird... sort of triggered, I guess, would be the way to say it. But it was more because of the way that this was handled. Apparently, teachers can't... Apparently, teachers think that toy guns in different personal collections and houses and stuff are something to be calling all the different, what is it called, school resource officers for and everything. This is their house. This is not your classroom. If you think that just because you're posting online and your students are in that online class with you, that is your classroom, you do not have control over those kids at all, and you shouldn't have control over those kids in any way, shape, or form. I heard a story where a kid was told that he was not allowed to be eating while he was in the virtual classroom. How stupid is that? How stupid? Oh my gosh. I can't even... Got me all upset over here. But let's go through this real quick. An elementary school in El Paso County disciplined a 12-year-old boy last week for showing a toy gun while taking an online art class. I didn't even read that part. While taking an online art class? It happened in Colorado Springs, and the boy is a student at Grand Mountain School in Westfield, Widefield School District 3. He was suspended for 5 days. A school resource officer was called to the student's home after a teacher reported concerns about his welfare to the principal, as well as the welfare of other 12-year-old student the boy was with. The principal reported it to police. Now, I did watch the video of what it looked like the kid was having, and obviously the cameras nowadays are not very good on the laptops and stuff, and you can't really see details. So yeah, I will give the teacher the benefit of the doubt, as the gun in particular did not necessarily look like a Nerf gun. But it did sound like a Nerf gun, so like the dang the plastic sound of the hammer hitting the gun. Like that's just what it sounded like. And she said, put it away, and then the boy did this. But why not just ask the boy, like, hey, can you please put that away? And what is that? Like, just ask the boy right there. If you can't trust them enough to do that, then why should the boy ever trust you in the first place anyways? Like, I don't understand. The relationship from the student and the teacher is not there anymore. And that's just the nature of it being online. And I think that's the biggest reason why we need to get back in schools, is because there is no relationship with the teacher and the kids. And that's the only thing that matters when you're going to school. The curriculum doesn't matter. You're going to learn that. You can learn that all on YouTube. I took AP Stats in, I don't know, was it senior year of, maybe junior year of college. And my teacher didn't know how to teach at all. It's a horrible, awful teacher. I'm not going to mention it, but anyways, AP Stats, didn't learn a dang thing from that guy for 3 months. Just went on YouTube to figure out how to do this stuff it was like a test coming up. We had like a you get the papers that are like pre-test papers, like what to study and everything like that. So I went on YouTube. Basically, it took me 1 weekend, learned everything about the class, got 100% on the test, and I didn't cheat on that one. No, but anyways, it just goes to show you that in-person learning, that actually doesn't prove anything that I was just saying about in-person learning either. The relationship is the only thing that matters. Kids, if they want to learn from the internet, need to go to YouTube. Need to go to any other place except for your schools, your public school online stuff. That is not going to help anybody. It doesn't teach anybody anything. And if you're like me in college and you cheated on all your tests, just to get the degree because everything was online anyways, what the frick are you going to do to me when I have like 17 different computers around here and I can just look up everything while I'm taking your online test? You can't stop that. And the biggest thing that I learned in college and in high school in general was how to find information quicker. By looking on Google and looking on and using our resources that we have. I think that's more valuable nowadays than a lot of teachers would let on. They think you need to do your own research, go to the library and stuff like that. That doesn't exist anymore. We're so much smarter. We have so much access to so much different avenues, and it just doesn't make sense that the way that people are teaching currently, and especially in the online environment. Kids are making memes out of all you teachers on TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. It's just kind of a ridiculous environment, and that's not really trying. I'm not trying to bash on the teachers that much. I'm just trying to kind of enlighten everybody and show everybody what the actual thing that is going on and what's happening. So whatever. Let's get back to this. The authorities said that the teacher wasn't sure if the gun was real or not. Like I said, it was kind of hard to tell. No one was charged with a crime. The sheriff's office wrote of the incident, "We take these situations seriously and we have to respond to circumstances such as these, as public safety is our number one priority." But here's the thing that I would have to say. Is this public safety? He was in his house. You are allowed to do whatever you want in your house, right? Or no? I'm asking questions, serious question. So that's just something to ponder. If you're not, then this is probably whatever, normal situation. But if you are allowed to do whatever you want in your own house, and now granted they are kids, so that is part of this argument that has to be kind of hashed out. And obviously if guns are involved with kids, yeah, maybe it is something that needs to be looked at. But I mean, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense the way they handled this whole situation. The goal was to educate the involved parties, and I'm not sure what they're going to do by that. Like, it's a Nerf gun. At the end of the day, they went to the house and they figured it out. The kid should not be suspended. First, all right. So this is what really should happen. Sure, let's say the teacher was in there, right? They needed to send the police over or whatever, just because they thought it was dangerous. The situation on the video did not look dangerous. There's some kids playing around. It was like airsoft guns and stuff like that. Let's just say that is what it is. This is how it should have gone down. The teacher, yes, could have reported them and whatever, and then they have the police officer go over to their house, investigate, and then find out that it's all toy guns and whatnot, and which is not a problem. If you have a problem with guns, that's a whole other thing. We're not going to get into that right now. It was a toy gun, Nerf guns. If you don't have those, you didn't have a fun childhood. That's how that works. But anyways, they should have gone to the house, figured it out, and found out they were toy guns and left it at that. And that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else should have happened there. Kids should not be suspended because that's ridiculous. And if you don't want kids to just play around on their computer, then don't require them to come to your online class. That's your fault. This is not YouTube where they can get taking their money away for posting something with a gun on the camera. This is your class. This has nothing to do with that kind of thing. And then they said the goal was to educate and involve parties. So looks like it's a nothing kind of situation. The kid obviously got suspended. I think that's the worst part of this whole situation here, and it just goes to show why education right now is so out of whack. Then you get back to going to school. Obviously the kid wouldn't have brought this if he went to school. And then you get back to learning that situation. So that's all I got for right now. Just a little bit of a venting situation. Kind of went over it. Needed to kind of figure out what was exactly happening right there. It looks like a little more reasonable than was laid out. Obviously everything on the news nowadays is coming out like super polarized one way or another. So, handled pretty wrong. And I'd say the polarization of how this was presented across all the outlets was the real problem here, like everything else. But yeah, as far as schools go, get back into school. But anyways,